friends, welcome to demo, and hello friends, welcome to demo. All right, so today we are making a cute family of fish card, and I was actually just telling Jay, whenever I do a new demo idea, I always jot down like a little note for myself of like, oh, this is going to be your concept, or because I plan my demo so far out in advance that I always kind of forget what my plan is. And so today I actually really wanted to use these really cute little fish die cuts. They are adorable. This is a die cut that is from, I want to say it's a Poppy memory box die cut, but these tiny, tiny, tiny little fish. I know it's impossible to see this die cut from up there. But this is what they look like. They're so cute. These cute little fishies. I love them. I love them. They're very, very fun. And they're called Whittle because they are very, very whittle. So I wanted to use a card using these. The other concept I had, I wrote a little note for myself, was, Ellie, put a mustache on a fish. And I did not end up doing that because I could not figure out how to put a mustache on a fish this tiny. I was like, no, I don't think I'm going to do that, but it was a funny idea. So anyways, so today I'm going to do something really cute. We're going to be using a little bit of the soggy vellum. I'm pretty excited about it. So we're going to first cut our card down to size here. I'm doing kind of a thin, slim card here, just in terms of this direction. Then I have my scoreboard here. Right, and we're going to score this at the 5.5 inch mark, so that's the halfway mark. Fold that in half. All right. Bits here. Okay, so then I have all my little bits and pieces ready to go here because sometimes if I'm cutting a bunch of stuff, then I forget what all I need to cut down. So we're going to have all of our little pieces out here. A piece of vellum. Okay, so there, these are the same color paper, but what we have here is one that's going to be a little bit lighter weight, and you have your heavy cardstock. It's the same color. So we're going to take double-sided tape. It's over here. I'm going to put double-sided tape on here on the top and on the bottom, on the inside of the card. So just have a little piece here. All the way across, and then I have one more piece for the bottom. Then we're going to peel that off. Don't worry, there's not a whole lot of the double-sided tape this time, just a little bit. Then this lighter weight piece, we're going to lay it right on top of that, so we're covering up that whole side of the card there. Okay. All right. So then we're going to take our scissors and we are going to squigglify. That's a word I made up, but I love it. We're going to, it's the middle section only. So I want to kind of figure out like where I want my school of fish or my family of fish to be going. So I'm going to kind of create a really interesting little squiggle here, and I'm only cutting right there to the fold mark. And I'm going to do the same thing at the top here. Now I'm going to make this card a graduation card today, but I made one earlier that's a birthday card, so you'll be able to see two different concepts on how we did this. So we've squigglified the top and bottom, so you have this opening here. Now these are attached to the top and bottom with double-sided tape, right? Okay, so now we're going to take this little piece of vellum and we're going to slide it between the two pieces there like that. All right, and that's going to just tuck right in. Okay. So I'm going to use a little bit of glue just to lock that in place. So I'm just going to peel this up. I'm going to put a little bit of glue down. Make sure that that's up to the edge there. And same thing here. A little bit of glue on the side there. And flip it over the other way and do the same thing. You can use tape or glue. I would say glue is probably going to be a lot easier.
With a curve, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That was my issue. It's like the little curve. You're gonna want to use double-sided tape, or you want to use glue versus double-sided tape. All right. So while we wait for that to dry, on the front we're going to decide what kind of card we want to do. And I decided for this card I want to make it a graduation card. So I have my die cut machine here. And I have my little die cut, and this one says congratulations. And I'm going to use my metallic silver paper. And I'm going to cut this. Whoops! background is moving. All right, there we go. I have this tool, looks like a dental tool because it is. This is what we're going to use to poke out our die cut. It says congratulations. It's nice and simple. So, but of course I don't want it to just put it on the front of the card just as is. That's not exciting enough for me. So I'm going to grab some ribbon. So this is a wide sheer ribbon, and what's really cool about this is that when you put it on a card, it kind of looks a little shimmering, kind of looks almost metallic, but it's not so overwhelming or heavy like a metallic cardstock. So what I'm going to stick this down, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put glue on the back side of my sentiment here. And I'm going to put just a little bit down. This guy. Let's see if this guy will fit in here. Pretty sure it will not. Okay, so you can either stick it directly onto the ribbon, or you can mount it on something else and then stick it down. I think for the purposes of this card, I'm just going to stick it down. So you can always see the glue through the sheer either paper or ribbon, so you have to be really careful when you're laying this down. So I'm going to set that in place. I'm going to kind of press it down so that the glue goes all the way through to the paper, the cardstock on the other side. I'm just going to let that sit there for just a minute, making sure it's nice and straight. While I'm doing that, and let's move this over here, I'm going to start die cutting my fishies. So the little fishy times.
Is that supposed to hold down the ribbon too?
It's going to hold down the ribbon for the time being, yes.
Okay.
All right, so for doing the little fish, you can decide whatever color you want to do. So if you're making this a graduation card, it might be a great idea to use maybe the color palette of the school of where you're making the card for, or you could just get a rainbow color, or you can pick your favorite colors. It doesn't really matter. But for the purposes of making my card today, I'm going to kind of do a monochromatic where I have, I think I'm probably going to go for these three colors, the green and then a couple lighter, you know, you can do 3 or 4 colors. I think I actually want to do 4 colors for this. There we are. These are the 4 colors I'm going to do. So I have a combination of cardstock and text weight. So I'm going to die cut multiple fish at the same time. So I'm going to have 2 pieces of paper, one that's lighter, one that's heavier. I'm going to lay my little fish on there and cut out a little square for myself. Just a small little piece, and then I have my layering die cut image, or my layering die cut mat there. Roll that through. And Linda, I'm going to have you help me with this. I'm going to hand you little fishies and have you poke those out. And you're going to pull those apart because there's multiple layers on each one.
Okay, yes, got it. Just right off, okay.
All right, so I want to cut myself a grand total of, when you have 3 and that's 6 and 9, I'm going to cut myself out 12 little fishies in total. So that means we're only running it through 2 times. So we have the first one, because you end up with 6, and then we have this one, and we'll end up with another 6.
So those really stick together.
They really do stick together. Absolutely they do. You know, they're a little sneaky. All right.
They're not glued together.
They're not glued together, but when we die cut them, I know. If you can't get them apart, that's okay. But I will have you poke these little guys out when you get a second there. That would be wonderful.
Here, I got it. I just had to.
It does take a moment. And then I also have a little
3 layers,
sentiment.
did you
There are
say?
2 layers in each one, which would be perfect.
Oh, okay. All
So
right.
I'm going to be using this stamp today. This actually comes from a Tailored Expression Christmas sentiment set, and it says like, "Wish you a Merry Christmas, celebrate the season, ho ho ho." But this one, from our family to yours, I thought would be perfect for this card. So I'm using Distress Ink Faded Jeans, and I'm going to ink up my sentiment here. And in the middle of my gray piece of paper here, I have a stamp from our family to yours. And then on the sides, I'm going to trim out the little flag there. So to do that, I just go from the side to the center, and then from the side to the center. So we get the cute little flag. All right. Now, because I'm going to be doing my tiny little, let me grab my little piece of paper here. I'm going to be making this a graduation card. I have some gray paper here so I can stamp out this cute little graduation hat. This little graduation hat stamp is super cute. So I'm going to ink this up with the blue ink.
Okay, here you go.
Oh, thank you so much. Yay, success.
Yeah.
And I'm stamping down my little grad hat, and I'm going to use scissors here to just trim out the little grad
How
hat.
many are here?
There should be those ones there are 3 pieces. There's a grand total of 6 pieces, 6 little fishies.
Okay, so 2 each.
2 each, that's right.
Okay.
All right, so I'm fussy cutting this little grad hat. All right. This graduation hat is super, super, super tiny, but the fishes are super tiny, so it has to be.
Tiny.
It has to be very, very, very little. I know it's almost impossible to see right now. Oh, yay! Thank you so much, Linda. And you're gonna pull those apart. Wonderful. All right. So now that this is dried on here, I'm just gonna take my scissors and trim off the excess ribbon on the sides. And fold this over so I can see how that's hanging off there and trim that off. All right, there we are. Okay, so now I have some hole punches. So I have 2 different sizes of hole punch, and I have a little bit of some silver paper here. So I'm actually going to go through and I'm going to punch out some tiny little circles, and they are very, very, very small. But it's because I want to have cute little bubbles, and I like the fish having little bubbles. I think that would be really fun.
Yeah. It indicates water.
Yes, exactly, exactly. Just kind of makes it feel a little bit more finished. All right, so we have all my little tiny little holes punched. Little circles there. All right, so now I have my glue. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to find some cute little fishies here. Hopefully I have enough fish. I may have to punch out some more. I think I'm actually going to start with the inside because I want to make sure I actually have enough.
It's each family.
Oh,
by
thank
color.
you so much.
Yeah, you're
So,
welcome.
thank you so much. So I'm going to put a little sentiment down here at the bottom that says "From our family to yours" because I think that's really cute. And then I'm going to just go ahead and start putting in my little fishies. Now, technically, some of these are not facing the right direction because the original designer said, oh, we wanted to have some fish going facing some direction and some fish going the other direction. So in order to get around that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick my little fishes
You have
in
little
here.
schools of fish.
Yes, I'm making little schools, a little school of fish.
Doing
Yes,
their own thing.
that's right, that's right. So this one that's going the wrong direction, I'm actually just going to flip it upside down, and it's going to be just fine because that little stitching in it looks great no matter what.
Okay.
And I love the tone on tone of all the different like blue greens together. I just think that's really sweet. But honestly, you can do whatever you wanted for your card. And I kind of want to just mix and match my little fishies just a little bit more. So I gotta go down here. We'll see if I have enough fish here, and if I don't, I might have to do one more round of fish. But they're just so adorable. Let's see if I have the green one. Oh, I'm definitely going to need some more fish cut. I don't have enough.
You got 2 left there.
I do. I am definitely going to need some more here, I think. This little guy, I want him to go up here. Oh my gosh, it's just so cute. I'm so happy with this. But yes.
So where would you write the sentiment?
Well, I have, so in that case, you probably would want to do it over here. If you wanted, so I did not include an extra piece, but you certainly could. You could do another little gray piece over here if you wanted to write with the dark pen, or you could write with the white pen or a silver pen on the left-hand side. And that would absolutely work, especially for, like, if you wanted to wish someone congratulations for their graduation or retirement or whatever it is that we need. Sometimes I forget that I have to leave a little square for a sentiment because I get so excited with my design. I'm like, oh yeah, people want to write a message or sign the card. That makes sense. All right.
I've made shadow box cards where they just pull it out and it's like, oh thanks, and I said, there's no message on the back, and then they have to flip it.
Oh, that's funny. Oh my gosh. It's well, because sometimes like I don't know about you, Yumi, because you make a lot of shadow box cards, but I have the issue of forgetting to leave space for that, and like so I have absolutely written sentiments on the backside of shadow box cards because I'm like, where else am I gonna put it?
Yeah.
So I didn't really think about it ahead of time. Because I love making like little scenes and little miniatures and little things like that, and I like it when everything like all matches up nicely. And so if I don't specifically intentionally make a little spot for a sentiment, sometimes it just kind of goes by the wayside. I'm like, oh, that's right, and I get so excited. I'm like, isn't this so much fun? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, I forgot to sign it. Oops. Okay, there we go. All right, I cut myself out a bunch more fish. You never know, and I would way prefer to have extra. Oh my gosh, thank you so much, Veronica. You are amazing.
You're welcome.
I appreciate that. All right, because you know all my little fishies are going to get stuck in here. There we go.
So is that die cut just by itself, or is there a set?
Yeah, this is just by itself.
Oh,
it's
okay.
really, really cute. I really like it. It's very simple, but the little fishies are just so precious. Oh my gosh. I love them. All right, I'm going to pull a bunch of these apart here. All the little layering bits. And you can always tell because one side is one color, one side the other color, so you know that you got a couple of them stuck together.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Got this guy and this guy. All right. Okay. So once we have our little fishies cut out, we'll go back over here and we'll continue to stick them on. In our little order here, so we have our nice little grouping of fishies. Whoops. That's okay, they're not perfect. That's all right.
Maybe you made too much.
I know, I had to make so many little fishies, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I just want them to all fit in there. We'll see if they all fit in here. I'm a little worried this one might not fit, but we'll see. I might just make it work anyway.
Yeah, some could be overlapping.
That is true. I could have some more overlapping here. But I didn't originally want that, but I think it'll be okay. All right, excellent. Okay, now that I have all my fish from my little school of fish, look how cute that is.
Oh, that's
and you can
cute.
see the vellum and from the back side too. Now traditionally I would not recommend that you actually glue right onto the vellum because you can always see the backing, but because this vellum is foggy and has that kind of texture, where are the rest of my pieces? It has kind of that texture, that foggy texture, you can't actually see the glue behind it, which I was actually pretty surprised about. All right, so now for the front. I want to glue on some little bubbles, so I'm just going to do some little tiny dots for my little bubbles. I'm just going to stick those little guys on. Whoops.
I'm sticking to you.
I know, I know. There we are.
Are those little gemstones? What are they?
No, they're actually, I just used the circle punch,
Oh,
the little
okay,
hole punch
okay, I
there,
was-
and then I have two
I didn't-
different sizes.
I was busy and didn't see.
Oh no, that's all right. I had you do a task for me of poking out all of those tiny little fish, so you probably missed that, but that's not a problem. That is a-okay. All right, so we have this all stuck down, and as I'm sticking these down, I'm kind of pressing them in place and kind of holding them down so that way the glue transfers through
Goes all the way through.
yes, through the ribbon to the other side. Exactly. All right. So once you have those, oh come on, stick down. There we go.
Maybe.
Maybe. That's exactly what popped in my brain. Oh my
What
gosh.
about like the what is the shimmery glue dots? Could you
Oh
use
yeah,
that?
you absolutely could use stickles. Yes, of course. Yep, that would not be a problem at all. All right, so now I'm the kind of human that I want to add little fishies on the front as well because I think they are
I
so
was-
fun.
Thinking of that. Yeah.
Yes, I have to have the little fishies everywhere. They're just so precious.
Wouldn't it be cute to put a little graduation cap on one of them?
That's what I'm doing. Yes,
Oh, really?
that's why I have the tiny little grad cap. That was my plan. I'm so glad that you came up with the idea as well because I also thought that would be so cute. So you can have the graduation cap on your little guy on the outside or on the inside. For the purposes of my card today, oh, maybe that's not the right one. It should go there. I wanted that color there though. Put more glue on. So for my purposes on my card today, though, I'm gonna actually do that little guy on the inside, the one with the little grad cap. And I have some more bubbles that we'll put in here. We'll put this little guy over here. All right. So now we have the tiny little graduation cap. And that is where that guy's gonna go. Oh my gosh, so cute. So this last little silver piece, you can do whatever you want with it, but my thought is that this would go on the far left side, and then that way it kind of locks down the ribbon in place as well.
Is that the silver?
It is the silver again, yeah, and that also ties in with the silver that goes with the little sentiment. All right, isn't that so cute? So it says, congratulations from our family to yours. And I just thought that was so much fun. So then that way you have your little family of fish, but then you have all the little extras. All right, so now that you've seen that card, let me show you the other one. Because you know how I always like to do. I always like to have my two options. But where is my other card? I must have left it up front. Hold on, friends.
This is just paper.
Yeah. This?
Yeah.
You're welcome.
I didn't realize that it was going to see through the back of
Yeah,
it.
but she had a piece of cardstock to put in, glued down,
Okay.
the tape inside, you know.
Oh my gosh, so funny. All right, so this is the exact same thing, but a happy birthday card. Isn't that
Okay.
so
Oh,
cute?
that's cute.
So happy birthday from our family to yours. So again, you can see the movement is
Uh-huh.
slightly different on this
Yep.
card, and the color palette is totally different.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I decided to use all yellows on this one, but I thought that was just so
Goldfish
so
and green
precious.
fish.
Yes, and then this one it has the little party hat, so you can really kind of make that fit your needs, whatever it is you're after. So did you want to see that one too, Bailey? Yeah, it's really fun.
Oh, that is cute. Okay, they all are,
Yeah.
but that is a cute little hat.
I know, isn't that adorable?
Was that a stamp that you
It
put?
is. It is. Both of those are stamps. We have the little grad
Yes.
hat, and we have the tiny little party hat, which is pretty
It's
sweet.
like a little river.
Yeah.
All right, friends. So you come down to make our craft this week for just $5. We'll be up until next Wednesday. We'll see you soon.